I like this picture from my college textbook because it shows how after the war ended in 1783, there was a huge question mark about what to do with all of this territory. Because remember, after the Treaty of Paris in 1783, Britain gave up all of the land east of the Mississippi River, all here in light blue. This becomes the Northwest Territory in darker blue and in gray. So the 13 colonies are starting to wonder, like, what do we do with all this territory? Um, Earlier on, they were claiming it for themselves as colonies, right? Like the Western Reserve area here, this is claimed by Connecticut all the way over here, but they eventually give it up by 1800. Virginia was claiming lots of land like Kentucky, and even way up here, states that would be like Wisconsin and Minnesota. So, what do you do with all of this territory? Well, the Articles of Confederation kind of answered that with two important documents. You have to give it a little bit of credit: the Land Ordinance of 1785 and the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. What did these two documents do? Well, the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 did something actually pretty impressive. It provided a way for land belonging to the other states to actually become states of their own. So it's kind of like a backwards way of thinking about it, but this land, again, it's not a state yet. Um, Virginia is claiming area because Virginia itself wants to prosper, right? Like as a state, it wants to have this area as like a colony to extract raw materials and then to grow and prosper at its own expense. The 13 states didn't want other states to compete with them, but the Northwest Ordinance provided a way for five eventual US states: Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin to become states on equal footing, I can't write a five, with the other 13 states. It guaranteed settlers in the area freedom of religion, habeas corpus, and trial by jury. Most importantly, slavery would not exist in the Northwest Territory. Um, the first states to become states after independence will eventually be Kentucky and Tennessee. And this area down here was already heavily involved in the slave trade. So these states became slave states. But under the Northwest Ordinance, these states would not become slave states. And they would, as they became states one by one, slavery would be outlawed in this territory. Public education. Thomas Jefferson promoted the idea of it in the area that would be the Northwest Territory. So public school systems were set up in this land. Um, Under the Ordinance of 1785, the way that these areas would become states is eventually, after 60,000 people had moved into the territory, they could set up and apply to become states. And the way that they basically divvied the section was they took these grids and said that once you have a certain amount of people living in an area here, this is yours, boom, this is yours, this is yours. It completely disregarded the topography and the geography of the area. But if actually you look at a lot of US cities, like Cleveland, Toledo, Chicago, Milwaukee, the layouts for the cities actually look just like this. Um, so that's what the Northwest Ordinance and the Land Ordinance did. But we have to, of course, talk about the idea that under the Northwest Ordinance, it guaranteed that Indians' rights would be respected and protected. And as we can see, then, of course, that didn't happen. So these were two important documents that had a big impact on subsequent U.S. history. Again, both of those passed before the Constitution under the Articles of Confederation. So you do have to give it just a little bit of credit, even though it didn't work.